Rewriting with a common denominator. Let's look at the fractions 2/3 and 1/4. If I wanted to add or subtract these fractions, I would first need to find a common denominator. That's as easy as finding the LCM. If you're not sure how to find the LCM of two numbers, check out my video on LCM. So the least common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. So I'm going to put that here and here. Now I just need to figure out how to find the top number, my new numerator. So looking at my denominators for the first fraction, 3 times what would give me 12? 4. So I have to multiply by the same number on top. When you create equivalent fractions, it's really important that you multiply by the same number on the top and the bottom. Let's look at 1/4. 4 times what is 12? 3. So I have to multiply by 3 on top as well. 1 times 3 is 3. And now I've rewritten both of my fractions with the common denominator 12. But what if it's more than two fractions? What if I'm given 4 fractions and I have to put them all in order? Just need to find a common denominator first and then rewrite my fractions. Now, finding an LCM of 4 numbers is a little trickier than finding an LCM of just 2, but we can use the upside down cake method and it makes it a little easier. So I'm going to write my 4 numbers here: 5, 10, 100, and 25. And I'm going to think of what number I can divide into all 4 of these with no remainder. So all 4 of these numbers are divisible by 5. So let's do it. 5 divided by 5 is 1, 10 divided by 5 is 2, 100 divided by 5 is 20, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. Now there's no number that goes into all 4 of these, but 20 and 5 are both divisible by 5. So I'm going to divide just those 2 numbers by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And since I didn't divide the 5 into the 1 or the 2, I'm just going to bring those down. And then I can do a similar process here on this last row because 2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And I didn't divide the 1s, so I'll just bring those down. To find the LCM from this, all I need to do is multiply the numbers that are on the side and the bottom. So 5 times 5 times 2 times 1 times 1 times 2 times 1. I don't really need to look at the 1s, right? Because multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything. 1 is the multiplicative identity, which means that when you start with a number and you multiply by 1, it equals that number that you started with. So I'm going to multiply 5 and 5 to get 25. And then I can multiply this 2 and this 2 to get 4. And 25 times 4 is 100. So I found my common denominator. Now I'm going to put it in place. So I need 100 here and here. This one already has a denominator of 100, so we're set on that one. And here. Now let's find the top numbers. So to get the top numbers, remember, we just look at what we would have to multiply to get the new denominator. So 5 times 20 will get us to 100, which means I have to multiply by 20 on top. Let's look at the next fraction. 10 times what is 100? 10 times 10. So I multiply by 10 on top. And the last fraction, 25 times what is 100? 25 times 4. So I have to multiply by 4 on top. And that gives me 64. Now I've rewritten all of my fractions with a common denominator of 100. So if the goal was to put these original fractions in order, I can do that now. All I have to do is look at the numerators and put those in order. So 53 is the smallest. Next in line would be 60, and then 64, and then 70. But when I write them in order, I want to write the original fractions, the ones that were given before I rewrote them with a common denominator. So the first fraction, the smallest fraction in the list, is 53 hundredths. Second is 60 hundredths, but the original fraction for 60 hundredths that I was given is 3 fifths. After that is 64 hundredths, but the original fraction was 16 25ths. And then the largest fraction here is 70 hundredths, and that was given as 7 tenths originally. So here are all of my fractions written in order from least to greatest by rewriting with a common denominator.